Jumping in hot right as the raid gets here with our first match of the night. It's a TVT. And in the upper right-hand corner, GSL finalist, one of the strongest Terrans in the world right now. It is Cloud9's GuMiho. In the blue, his opponent in the red in the lower left for Dragon Kites Gaming, it's the current reigning world champion, Oliveira. And I mean, you just can't go wrong with this. Especially when GuMiho decides, hey, you know what? I have a good build. And it's building 2 barracks in the natural of his Terran opponent. Did you see Beyond absolutely smash Bunny with this? The EPT Cup Korea. That was super fun. That was the shortest TVT series I've ever seen. Beyond just dominated. I don't know if this one's going to be quite as dominating, but I'm only seeing 1 gas here from Oliveira. And I'm feeling a little bit worried that Oliveira might be trying to Reaper expand against his opponent, going proxy 2 racks, Reaper in the natural. Because GuMiho decided he wanted this one to be short and sweet. I'll tell you, these guys usually have a banger. The last like 2 or 3 weeks, I think, this match has happened in the round of 8 between these two. Oh my god, I can't believe he doesn't see this. Oh, he sees it! GuMiho misplacing, and Oliveira immediately stops building the CC. He gets the scout. He misses the scout on this one. So he may think this is only 1 Rax. Oh, this could be really bad for Oliveira. That second Rax being in a different spot? GuMiho, is this the largest brain thing I've ever seen in my life? GuMiho's got to pay attention. He missed that first Reaper shot. He's going to dive on it. All right, there's a little back and forth here. The SCV is really helping out. GuMiho's SCV is dead, but that's Oliveira's Reaper dead. And Oliveira's going to tap out because he genuinely did not realize there was a second Rax down there. And the moment he saw that Reaper come up and he lost his Reaper, he knew it was over. And that is a sad moment, as we were 2 minutes and 26 seconds into that game. And, well, GuMiho takes a quick game 1. Quick game 1. The rest of the bracket's looking pretty stacked. If you guys aren't familiar with the KSL, this is a completely crowd-funded tournament. We have a Patreon, and thanks to our lovely patrons that pay like $5 to $10 a month, but we have a large number of them that support it. We're able to put on this tournament mostly weekly, although I think we will be taking next week off, as it is Thanksgiving for those of us in the U.S. But would really appreciate if you guys would consider supporting the Korean StarCraft. We started this because Blizzard left us out in the cold on our own, and especially the Korean region got hit real hard. So we wanted to support that, and the people wanted to support that. And we'd love it if you joined us. Also, you can get all the replays from all these tournaments every single week. So if you're looking for high-level replays, whether you want to cast them, you just want to look at them because they're pretty, or you just want to say you have like world champion level StarCraft replays on your computer. Those are all very valid reasons. Anyways, there's my spiel for the day. for this match, let's be real. I'm going to do that like 3 or 4 more times today. But spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have, once again, GuMiho, the Gumi God, taking a very quick game 1 there. His opponent in the upper left-hand corner got to be molding a little bit after that first game. I mean, not seeing the second Rax like that, that's painful. It is Oliveira. You thought Oliveira took a break. I mean, he might have taken a break. He's been playing in the KSL pretty consistently the last few weeks, and he's had some really sick performances and some really fantastic matches where he's, I mean, taken down some of the greatest players in Korea. He's genuinely looked very, very good. Just a few weeks ago, he took down Dark and just had like some really sick games, sick matches. I'm excited to see him playing at that kind of level. The TVT between these guys is usually kind of weird. Both GuMiho and Oliveira have like a superpower where they confuse their opponents and play a little bit off kilter. Where there's a thing in Pro StarCraft where you know exactly the timing of what your opponent is doing, right? And so you know when, like, the Reaper is supposed to pop out. You know when the CC is supposed to finish. You know when these transitions happen. And everybody has excellent macro. It's all happening at the same time. It's the correct time, right? There's the optimal time. But I feel like both GuMiho and Oliveira are totally fine playing an unoptimal build if it can help them win the game. And so the timings of what they do sometimes feels awkward. It feels incorrect. And I think it throws those players off who are like using assumptions as like a shortcut to help them get ahead in a game. But you just can't do that against these guys. Both of them play so, I don't know, it's like off-centered. It's like an unbalanced play style where you're not sure when the swing is going to come because it's not like dead center. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this analogy, but it's really entertaining to watch these guys play each other because they both have that superpower. We're already seeing a bit of a difference in the opening here. GuMiho going for a cloaked Banshee opener. Both players just busting out some Cyclones to start with. Oliveira does have a Tech Lab on the way for the Starport, but it's quite a bit later, so I'm imagining this is just going to be a Raven opener for Oliveira. And yeah, there it is. Now, this is a lot of investment right now for GuMiho to get Cloak and Banshees. I don't know if he's expecting not a Raven opener, or if he's just thinking, well, maybe Oliveira will push out on the map a little bit. Maybe he can draw him out on the map a little bit with some Cyclone on Cyclone action. And then the Banshees can get some damage done. Yeah, I'm not too sure what GuMiho's plan is here. He could also be thinking, yeah, just that Oliveira's like not going for Ravens. Most Terran players still go for Ravens. Honestly, if anybody wasn't going to go for a Raven, it'd be GuMiho. Oh, and he's going for the speed upgrade for these Cyclones, so he is staying hardcore on the mech. He's going to keep these Cyclones pumping out. And this is getting a little spicy. GuMiho bringing some spice to game 2 of this TVT. After taking a very cheeky win in game 1. Now, where does Oliveira go from here? His build is looking very, very normal right now. This is by the book right here for Oliveira. And I think that's going to play really well into what GuMiho's going for. Oh my god, he's going for Hyperflight Rotors. What a god. I love him so much. I actually don't think slow Cyclones. And he's going to jump right on the Cyclone. Marines are not really going to stand much of a chance here. Oh my god, did that tank just shoot the Marines? What? How did that even happen? Confused. Scan goes down in the main. Oliveira is going to see the double factory. Now he knows he's up against something here. The Banshee's already getting some good damage done. And now Oliveira is going to need to get some Vikings out. I mean, you really need... It looks like he's already got him on the way here. You really need Vikings to deal with this. The Hyperflight Rotor Banshees, I'm pretty confident, are faster than just about everything Oliveira is going to have that shoots up. Except maybe Marines that are currently being stimmed. But that gives GuMiho a lot of opportunity to get damage done once this Hyperflight Rotors is finished. Hurricane Thrusters is done. And GuMiho is bringing a tank forward. This is such a cheeky little tank positioning here that I think he's going to try to draw units in to that tank fire. Oh, GuMiho way overcommitting with these Banshees, though, getting completely surrounded by Vikings there. The Ravens just hanging out next to those Banshees. Hyperflight Rotors not quite done. Now, the one thing here is that Oliveira is going to assume there's no more Banshees, and that is just not the case. There's already a Banshee out on the field. We just saw it heading over to the side. That tank is getting surprise damage done as Oliveira doesn't realize it's there. He finally shuts it down. It got a lot of damage done on these units, though, and there are still Cyclones around trying to tag these units. Oliveira, though, with a nice positioning, but he's got to send some units back to deal with that one Banshee. More of them on the way for GuMiho. He's not stopping the Banshee production right now. He's just going to continue harassing. 9 SCVs going down. Oliveira scans and sees that GuMiho has a third, and I mean, he doesn't know it, but he's up 15 workers as well. This is a great position for GuMiho. That being said, Oliveira has a strong army, and he is pushing across the map. Stim Bio is a tough thing to contend with, but another siege tank here getting some good shots off, but it will get shut down and killed. The Cyclone's trying to take the role of Blink Stalkers here and just picking off a couple of units on their way across the map. Ooh, the shutdown gets through. The auto turret goes down as well, but GuMiho has another tank here, and he gets this one away just out of tank range. But now Oliveira is putting pressure onto this third base. GuMiho's going to have to do something about that. He loses the tank. Ooh, Banshee trying to come out. Base is getting healed, but it might just have to lift. GuMiho's close to having enough to break this, but it is being reinforced. Banshee from the backside forcing a scan. It will go down, but he gets one of the tanks first. GuMiho closes that up. Dave.
A small dono, don't feel bad. It's just the tip.
I love you, Dave. Thank you so much for that. You're a hero. I was wondering what was going on in the background there. So, of course, Who Let the Cocks Out? That all-time banger from the 90s. GuMiho breaks Oliveira, sends him packing, keeps his third base alive, keeps most of his SCVs alive, and GuMiho's been very good. I've pointed this out a few times recently. Very good at continually building SCVs. So he, despite having to pull workers there, and I guess he only lost a few. I mean, he's still at 77, I guess is really the point at the end of the day. Oh, and this Marine from GuMiho? What? He's going mech. That Marine was just a sacrificial lamb to scout that. Hellions looking for a way in, but Oliveira buttoned up back at home. Now, Oliveira, he did lose a little bit more there, but honestly, the trades are not that dissimilar. The mining's been a bit better for GuMiho, but it's relatively even at this point. Oliveira is looking to get some damage done in here. Despite scouting this drop, GuMiho has not committed anything to defending it. So he's just kind of counting on his tanks in his main base to defend this, finally bringing the Cyclones and Hellions back into the main base to deal with this. And actually, that is going to deal with this beautifully. He might realize that he needs Blue Flame soon, though. Would love to see him research that. But at the same time, Oliveira is going for a real push to the north side here, sieging up some tanks on this planetary. The Viking's going to scan forward and try to get these Banshees before the Banshees can kill a siege tank. The Bio coming in, but I think GuMiho's army might just be too strong. Oh my god, he's got some Hellbats on the backside as well. Oliveira's going to kite against those and get some value, but look at that. After that's cleaned up, GuMiho is now up 30 supply on the Bio Terran. That's not where you want to be if you're playing Bio against mech. And it does look like Oliveira's trying to switch into air, but GuMiho's fully switching into air as well. Like, he's committing very hard to the air with triple starport here. And that's going to give him a big edge. I will say GuMiho's upgrades aren't as good as I would have expected them to be. It looks like he's on single armory right now, so he's got +3 attack coming, but no air upgrades, no armor upgrades. But he is pretty far ahead in that supply. Ahead in workers, ahead in army. And that's going to make for a very powerful push if he pushes it maxed. He could also play it kind of defensively, right? GuMiho could just try to move out and expand a little bit, pressuring with the Cyclones and Hellions. He hasn't shown any movement that he's going to attack anytime soon. But it might come down to air armies, honestly, as they're both just pumping out Vikings. We got Liberators on the way here for Oliveira. 8 Vikings to 8 at the moment, as both players commit to that heavy Air Force, the Terran Air Force. Ooh, a little bit of a runaround here. Oliveira Gonna try to break through the middle, but GuMiho is, I mean, he is pushing. He's just pushing, and Oliveira has not realized it. And this is a bad spot to be in when you realize this. That being said, he's about to have a massive surround, and he's going to go for it. He stims forward. He's got units on all sides, but the tanks of GuMiho siege up. Is there enough bio here to kill this? It looks like the answer is yes. Oliveira runs over this army. The Vikings are going to win the fight for Oliveira as well because of the Marines underneath. And GuMiho drops down to 130 supply, and now he's trying to remax on mech, which takes approximately 100 years. Oliveira needs to go across the map right now, most ASAPly, because if GuMiho is able to get a couple rounds of tanks up, siege them up, it's going to be really hard for Oliveira to break that. GuMiho really bungled that fight, but at the same time, I mean, got to give credit to Oliveira. He saw his opportunity. He had a full surround, all sides, units coming in all over the place, and he took that opportunity, just stimming right in. And you know what? I don't think this base gets up. These are 2-2 Marines and Marauders. GuMiho's going to lift the base up. There's a handful of Marines here. It looks like the CC might be able to get out of there. But this is causing some good damage to GuMiho's economy while Oliveira takes the 5th base in the meantime. And this game turned right on its head. GuMiho's in a lot of trouble. He is still in a lot of trouble. There's a force on the top side, a force on the bottom side, but this is kind of what I was worried about here. Oliveira giving GuMiho enough time
but he's also
to get some of these tanks out. And while this is some good damage here from Oliveira, if GuMiho is able to get to a maxed army again, I don't know that he's going to let that kind of engagement happen twice in one game. Dave, not only tipping $10, but gifting 5 subs.
He's a man, but he's also a
What an absolute god, Dave Testa. Dave, feeling bad because he doesn't like do everything for this tournament.
He's a man, but he's also
when in reality, he's the backbone for why we were even able to start the KSL. Got to get some Dave appreciation in there. Literally could not have happened without him.
But he's also a chicken.
I love you, Dave. Thank you, buddy. Now let's take a look at these air armies again. 13 to 20 Vikings. GuMiho has committed to the air army, and that means these 4 Liberators are basically useless right now. GuMiho is finally getting into the air upgrades as well. With +1 attack, he's got +2 armor on the way. His 5th base looks like it should be able to get established here, but he needs to get that going soon because he's mined out of his main. His natural is getting very, very low. Even the 3rd base is going to start mining out of these last few mineral patches and just be down to 4 soon. So he's got to get some SCVs up here and start mining from this base. Oliveira is shifting around to the top side, but GuMiho, he's doing a great job keeping up with Oliveira's army. It can be very difficult to do with this slower mech army. But GuMiho's doing a great job. The problem here for GuMiho is if he commits so hard to the Vikings, I get a little worried that he doesn't have enough to actually deal with the Bioforce. Because this is a lot of Marines and Marauders from Oliveira, and he is at 3-3. He's going to stim forward and try to get on top of these tanks again. Oh, the Ravens shutting down 4 of those tanks. And I said GuMiho wouldn't let it happen again, but he does let it happen again. There's not enough SCVs here for the repair. The Bio will gun this base down, and Oliveira takes another fantastic fight with his Bio, just being so patient, getting the full wraparound, and sending GuMiho's army packing. GuMiho is getting into battlecruisers. He has 3 of them. But honestly, Marines are pretty good against battlecruisers until you have, like, a ton of them. And these are 1-1 battlecruisers right now. They're about to be 1-2 against 3-3 Marines. That's a big deal. Plus, if the Vikings can target down the BCs, the Ravens can shut them down. They're powerful units, but they are not omnipotent. They are not the most powerful thing in the world. I love this little turret. This is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's not going to do anything, but it's adorable. BC's moving around the bottom side. I don't know if Oliveira has realized there's battlecruisers yet. He may have. He's getting his own fusion core, but I think that's more likely for upgrades rather than for BCs. GuMiho's just going to get some damage done here and try to teleport out, and he's got to teleport out. There he goes. Right back home. SC Crackpot, thank you for the Prime sub. The 5 months of prime subscribing. It is very prime. I think 5's a prime number, so that's like double prime. Actually, if you double a prime number, it's no longer a prime number. Pretty sure that's how that works. Pretty confident that's like a definition.
Oh man, Chickenman.
Oh my god. And with Bagels hitting the resub button as well, we are on a hype train. 48 months. Bagels. Bagels with 4 years of love and support. Incredible. And Oliveira with, I think that was, what, 3, 4 shutdowns? And this is going to be another dead base here as GuMiho just doesn't have the army to take this fight. The anti-armor missiles, the Marines, it's just too much. And Oliveira with some fantastic bio play takes GuMiho down in game 2. 2 fantastic fights in that game from Oliveira. Such patient play. Not taking the engagement until it was the exact right moment. Forcing GuMiho into a position he didn't want to be in where he could get completely surrounded. Excellently done by Oliveira. Bagels, thank you so much. Your spirit animal. Everybody, the cat is currently asleep on the couch right here. If I move, I don't have a way to move the camera that it will be able to see him. I'm pretty sure the cushions will be blocking. So, unfortunately, he is invisible at the moment. But I can promise you he's right there. He's very cute and very adorable right now. Oh, those are other things I can promise. Also, I have to shout out all the people who got gifted subs. I love that Nate just popping in for the BCs. The BCs teleport, and Nate just like gets teleported into the stream. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Mark BT, Macrocosm, AOD, Eddie SC2, and Silent but Deadly Fart 56. I mean, that's just the best. What a name. Thank you again, Dave, for the 5 gifted and for the donation. What a hero. We're getting into game 3. We're going to hard lead. We've had a very long game and a very short game. And we'll see what game 3 brings us. I'm glad it wasn't a 2-0 after that first game. But now I'm a little worried we might have a short game 3 here. As we get into hard lead, the winner of that 2-minute and 26-second game, number 1. I don't know if he wants to play another macro game. We will have to find out. In the lower right, it is GuMiho playing for Cloud9, the recent addition to the StarCraft family. Cloud9 coming in, picking up one of my favorite players of all time. His opponent in the upper left-hand corner for the Dragon Kitesy Gamers. It is Oliveira, world champion. Champion. Guys, my cat is so cute. Not to taunt you because none of you can see him, but he's just adorable. Fortunately, no proxies here. GuMiho decided, all right, we'll play it out. We'll play the full game, the full match here. And I'm not mad about it. Now, I do wonder if GuMiho's going to play mech again. I actually wouldn't be surprised. He's been playing mech against, specifically in these TVTs against Oliveira quite a bit. There's been a few really interesting games between them that GuMiho did like this like 2-factory tank push. Yeah, I don't know. It was just like pure tanks and Vikings. Double factory, reactor on the starport, just tanks and Vikings rallying across the map. What was funny is he did that to Oliveira, and then Oliveira did that to him in the next game. So I don't know. It feels like these guys are experimenting a little bit with TVT. GuMiho obviously in that last game giving us the good stuff. That's what we're in GuMiho games for, is the mech play. This game so far off to a pretty standard start. Nothing too notable here. GuMiho going straight into the Cyclone, skipping the Hellion part of the day altogether here. Oliveira getting that first Hellion out for safety. I'm always excited to see GuMiho go for BCs. I feel like, unfortunately, I'm cursed. Where every time he goes for BCs, he dies during the transition. Like, he takes a massive fight while he only has 2 BCs out. And it's just, like, not enough to really deal with anything. Cheeky little fight happening in here. GuMiho, though, with the Cyclone, gonna end up pushing Oliveira back. Only 1 Reaper surviving, as the Cyclone has 3 kills. But, you know, nothing too crazy. Just early game shenanigans. I think a lot of these early games have been ironed out a little bit more. Players are, once again, a bit more comfortable in the early game TVTs where... unless somebody proxies, I'm not seeing too many early game victories. So it's more like back what we used to see, but instead of Reapers and Hellions, it's mostly Cyclones at this point. But this has also been a really big part of Terran gameplay lately. We saw Beyond use this to incredible results. I think it was the EPT Korea this past week. The double Cyclone drop. Obviously, with Beyond's micro, he can make things look incredibly broken, but this is potentially very strong. Oliveira, though, with a beautiful defense against it. The Viking and the Cyclone, but isn't going to be enough here. The Viking goes down, the Cyclone goes down, and now Oliveira is chasing this with some slow Marines, which means some stuff is likely to die here. GuMiho's going to go ahead and boost away, just trying to get a few SCV kills, gets a couple Marine kills as well. Can't stick around with that tank. Oh, nicely placed Marines, though. Oliveira going to target down the medevac, but he doesn't get it. And that means the 2 Cyclones can get another SCV kill, bringing the total to 4 as this 12 hit point medevac gets out of there. And that's the micro I'm talking about. GuMiho bringing it. With that good micro, you can make magic happen with a medevac and 2 Cyclones. It's kind of like a double immortal drop with a Warp Prism. But a little bit different micro. Still very microable. Very good against the workers. And GuMiho getting some good damage there. Bring this home and just repair it up. Easy peasy. And it looks like GuMiho's going into full bio behind this. He's already got Stim on the way. And 4 more barracks being built as his third base turns into an orbital. Oliveira's third base a little bit behind, and he also doesn't have any extra production. But he is going for a push. He's just going to try to hit the other side of the map. He's got 2 Ravens. Did he get Interference Matrix? He did. He got the upgrade, so he has 1 of those available. This one will be available soon. He's going to have 2 shutdowns. GuMiho, I don't think, got the Interference Matrix upgrade. So he's on 1 Raven right now, but all he can do is drop a couple auto turrets or maybe an anti-armor missile. The Oliveira is going to siege forward, and he is going to shut down both of these tanks and kill almost all of the Marines. Both of these tanks going to go down as well. Uh-oh. GuMiho in some trouble here. But now the shutdowns are used. Oliveira going to have a tougher time pushing forward, but he sees that this base is over here. GuMiho going to try to pick off some reinforcements with some nice micro here. He doesn't get the tank, though. Oh, man. 6 hit points. The medevac goes down as well, so no more fancy micro here. And GuMiho is going to have a very tough time getting out of this. Oh, he drops his auto turret so late, but it does snipe down that one siege tank that was at 6 hit points. So at least GuMiho gets that. I thought he was going to drop those down earlier, try to get some of these tank kills. GuMiho going to scan forward, but there are 2 tanks here to 1. GuMiho might get one of them. He does, but he loses yet another tank. And there's another shutdown available. Oliveira going to continue pushing forward while GuMiho is trying to get everything in order here, all of his production. But hold the phone, he's going to pull the boys and stim the Marines and try to take this out. A couple of auto turrets on the back, and he will clean it up. Losing 6 SCVs, but staying ahead 2 workers at the end of the day. GuMiho biding his time, waiting until he had enough Marines to push out there and get the kills. The SCVs really coming in handy. And again, that SCV production from GuMiho coming into play. He's been very good at consistently building SCVs. And that's going to allow him to, even though he lost 6 just then, stay ahead in the worker count, or at least even in the worker count. Now GuMiho is going to send some units across the map. It looks like Oliveira has thought about this, and he's bringing units home. He has quite a few Vikings, so these drops are dangerous. But if the units can get out, what does Oliveira have on the ground right now? Turns out the answer is not much, as he's still getting his barracks online. I think he has stim, but I don't think he has combat shields yet. 1-1 is done for GuMiho, so his bio follow-up is hitting super hard right now. He had a weak point. Oliveira took advantage of that, but that earlier production for GuMiho is really kicking in. Kind of the beauty of TVT. This is the give and take of that production versus building more units. Now, Oliveira does have a lot of Vikings on the defense for a drop, but the drops are heading up north. This is 4 medevacs full of units. Oliveira has 1 Liberator here. Uh-oh, guys. This drop is getting right on in. Oliveira is going to have a siege tank in position, but 1 tank is just not going to cut the mustard. And that is Oliveira's natural base in disarray. 21 SCVs going down like it's nothing. He does shut down one of the tanks, but Oliveira is going to have to tap out as GuMiho gets in, kills all the SCVs, and secures his position in the natural and secures his position in the semifinals with that win over Oliveira.